Hey guys, what is up? My name is Meaghan and welcome back to Book Talk with Meg. Today I'm here with a very exciting video, which is my TBR for the Reading Rush Readathon, and I'm so excited to be participating in this. This was formerly known as the Booktubeathon, and it's such a big event. I feel like everybody participates and it's such a great way to be included in the community, so I thought I would join this year and try my hardest to actually fulfill all the goals. I will also be either daily vlogging or vlogging the entire experience. I hope I can daily vlog because I feel like that would make such great memories, but without further ado, I will be naming off the challenges and the books I have selected to go along with them. The first challenge is to read a book with purple on the cover, and for that I went with Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey, which has been very hyped up on the booktube community. If you follow any booktuber who is into contemporary or adult romances, I have watched both Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads and Melanie from Melta the Any talk about this book, and I knew I had to get it for myself. This is an adult romance, and obviously it is hecka purple, so it fits that challenge. I don't know much about this. I think it has to do with like a home renovation business and two people falling in love. I've heard it's hecka smutty as well, so very excited for this. Like, I've been holding off on this book because I really want to get to it soon, and the writing, I just noticed, is kind of big, so I think I should be able to fly through this one as I do with most romance novels. The next challenge is to read a book in the same spot for the entire time, so I'm going to cheat my way a little bit through that one, and I have two options. The first one is Heartstoppers Volume 2 by Alice Oseman, which I loved Heartstopper Volume 1. It's like an friends to lovers kind of graphic novel. It follows a boy who is very openly gay, and another one, well, very openly gay. He's, you know, he knows he's gay, and another boy who is kind of realizing he might have feelings for this boy. And I love the first one. The only thing is, I'll read it, but it's coming in the mail by Book Depository, so I don't know if it's going to be here in time for the readathon. Crossing my fingers, it will be, we shall see, but if not, I will be reading a poetry collection by R.H. Shin called She Just Wants to Forget. Poetry is something I read extremely quickly, and R.H. Shin is one of my favorite poets. This is one of his newer releases, so I'm very excited to get to that one, so that is my plan B if I do decide to read that one if Heartstoppers doesn't show up on my doorstep before the readathon begins. The third challenge is to read a book you wanted to read last year, and for that I have two options. It really decides on how the readathon is going. The first of my two options is Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is like what I really want to read, but it's just that it's a very chunky novel, so I don't know if I can realistically get through this during a readathon, but I think I really want to try my best. I remember really flying through Renegades, which this is the sequel to, and I think it could do the same with Arch Enemies. This follows two main characters, Nova and Adrian, and one of them is an anarchist and the other one is a renegade. Renegades are people who are helping the society, and the anarchists are trying to throw down the renegades. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this series through like Emma Books and a lot of other people who are a fan of this series. I don't usually love superhero novels, but this is more of a bunch of morally gray characters who are out doing their own thing, and I really enjoyed the first book, so this is my first choice. My second choice for this is significantly smaller, and that is Royals by Rachel Hawkins, also known as Prince Charming, which has such a nicer cover that I wish I had waited and bought that one instead of this. But you know what? This is what we're dealing with. This has to do with our main character. I believe she's called Daisy, and her sister is getting married to the Prince of Scotland, and I believe it's her adventure going out to Scotland and learning the etiquette and all that kind of stuff she's required to do for her sister to be able to fit in the royalty and be without scandal, because I believe they're afraid that our main character Daisy might bring trouble to the royal family. I'm not really sure, but this is a romance, obviously, and there's now a sequel to this novel, like a companion novel, so I really want to get to that one because the companion novel seems very interesting. So that's my second choice if Arch Enemies is too big of a challenge for me during that readathon. The next challenge is to read an author's first book, And for that I chose I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. I checked on Goodreads and this seems to be her first novel, debut novel, so I think I'm okay with that one. This is a significantly new release as well. This follows our main character who wants to be part of like either a ballet company or a ballet recital, but her mother doesn't want her to dance, and so she goes off on her own and does a road trip and goes to audition, and I believe for some sort of reason she needs to bring her neighbor with her. Might be a romance in there. I hope there's a lot of diversity. It seems like it from the cover because we have a person of color, but I hope there's more diversity to it. It is very short, very stunning. I've been displaying it on my bookshelf because I love the cover of this so much, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint. The next challenge is to read a book with a non-human main character, and for that, again, I do have two different choices. The first one being Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. This is a book I've been meaning to get to, and one of the people I love to watch on YouTube named Lacey, whose channel will be linked down below, read this not long ago for a readathon that was inspired by like the sea and that kind of stuff, and she did really enjoy it. I read the first few chapters, I really liked the writing style, and I feel like it's something that was drawing me in right away. And so this is my first choice. This obviously has mermaids as main characters, and I think it's like an Ursula backstory or something like that, and its sequel is coming out in August. So what a perfect time to read it, and this would fulfill that challenge. The next book I have to fit this challenge is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexander Christo. This is also a mermaid slash siren book. I read the first few pages and I know that this has to do with the main character who is a siren and who every year on her birthday steals a prince's heart, and it also follows a prince who is trying to kill off sirens because they are dangerous, and I believe they meet and some way or another fall in love. I think this is going to be fantastic, so if I don't decide on Sea Witch, this is my alternative. If you guys don't know, I love reading fantasy books that have anything to do with the sea. They're pretty much all I read when it comes to fantasy, with a few exceptions, so this is why these are my picks. The next challenge is to read a book that has 5 or more words in its title, and for that I chose Tell Me How You Really Feel by Amina May Safi. And this is a queer romance. It follows two female main characters who are going to fall in love, but first I believe they hate each other and then learn to know each other and then fall in love. It follows our main characters, and I think this is a dual perspective narrative. One of them is into filmmaking and the other one I believe like is going to star in that movie because they're like opposites, but I think it really works for that. And one of them is going to Princeton. I think they have very different interests and different lifestyles, but they obviously come together in the end. Books and Lala mentioned this book, and I believe she said she really loved it, and I just think the cover was appealing, and I love YA contemporary, so it's a great excuse to read this one, and it does have 6 words, so it fulfills that challenge plenty. The last challenge number 7, is to read and watch a book to movie adaptation. For that I chose Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, which I feel like everyone has read. I have read this and I want to reread it. I do own the DVD, so it's a great excuse to watch and read, and I just love this so much. This follows the main character Simon, who is not openly gay, but he's emailing with this other boy named Blue who is anonymous, and one day someone finds Simon's emails and blackmails them because they're interested in one of Simon's friends. So it's Simon dealing with his sexuality, dealing with someone blackmailing him, dealing with the fact that he's talking to someone who's named Blue but he has no idea who that is, and with his friends group and high school in general. This is very packed with emotion, but it's also funny and quirky and romantic, and I adored the movie, which is why I own it in DVD. I saw it in theaters and I was like, I need to watch it like 10 times more. So yeah, that's my pick because I do want to reread this. There's also the challenge that is a bonus, and that is to read 7 books, and I am going to be listening to the audiobook for Sadie while I complete this week-long readathon, and in case I don't get to one of the challenges, at least I will have the 7 books completed if I do manage to read like 6 of them plus the audiobook. So that's there in case anything happens. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Cross my fingers I'll be able to successfully complete this. Also, I have like pledged and joined the Reading Rush on their website, so if you guys want to add me as a friend and see like my stats for the week and everything, I will link that down below, as well as the information for the Reading Rush. I will link their YouTube page as well, and that's pretty much it. I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye guys!